Hey there, what you up to now? Day 362. We're sneaking up on a year. I can't believe it's been a year already that I've actually been documenting the journey of what I am doing as I transition from the offline, corporate, and brick and mortar world of real businesses to the online world of business. And it is a journey. It is a transition. It is different. And I guarantee there are people that have done this a whole lot faster and a whole lot better than me, but that was their journey. That's their journey. Everybody comes at life from our own unique perspective, and we all have different experiences that prepare us more or less for the transitions and the changes that we make. I have not been very well prepared to go from the offline world of business to the online world of business. And so I've made a lot of mistakes. I've got a lot of lessons learned. I've got a lot of battle scars, I think, and things that I've done wrong and paths that I've gone down that I shouldn't have gone down, but I didn't know until I went down the path, and I got pretty far down that path before I realized, oh my God, this is a distraction. This is a shiny object. I don't even need to be down this path. Back it up, back it up, back it up, and then go back to where I left off in the drawing board and get back to the framework and the process of what I really need to do to be successful in my online endeavors. So it's been interesting, and I'm sure at the end of the first 365 days, maybe I'll do I'll go back and I'll see where I've been, because I'll be honest, I don't even remember some of the crazy things that I've done in the last year, but there's been a lot. So today, and again, another thing that I'm doing is I'm moving, and I know I'm talking about it a lot, but it is such a huge project. I guarantee I'm going to be doing an article or something about lessons learned from moving, because it is definitely an experience that we can learn so much from, so much about ourselves, so much about the way we think and feel and the beliefs that we don't even necessarily know that we have, so much about the things that we hold dear and we cherish and we want to hold on to, and the things that we're okay with letting go of. There are so many really cool lessons learned if we step back, if I step back and take a look for them versus dreading the situation. And it has so much to do with our parallels in our life of change and how we approach change. And in the past, I haven't necessarily been awesome at approaching change. I'm great at taking action in a conservative direction toward what I want, but not that massive leap of faith. And sometimes I think I need to get better at just the massive leap of faith and knowing that I know what I'm doing, that I've always known what I'm doing, and that the second guessing and the doubts and the fears and the worries and the limiting beliefs that come up, we all have those. We all have a modicum of not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, wondering, who am I to do this great thing or this thing that I've decided I want to do? Who am I to help other people solve this problem? Who am I to fill in the blank? Because of conditioning, because of the way we're raised, because of the doubts and the fears and the worries and the limiting beliefs and the experiences that we've had in the past. And the key is that they've been in the past, and we have the ability to change anything we want right now in this very instant. So the only time we can change anything is right now in this very instant. So moving, got interviews for the Women's Summit today. Super excited about how that's coming together. Super frustrated with myself that I don't have more components and pieces of that, the overall project and process done, because primarily I've been getting pulled into the moving part and the packing and sorting. And, you can have some people do a lot of things for you, but when it comes to downsizing, I'm the one that has to pull out what do I want to keep and what do I want to move forward with in my life. And then people can come behind me and deal with everything else. So you got to go through your clothes and say, keep, throw. No, not throw, but give to charity, get rid of. But you got to go through and you have to pull out the things that you want in your life moving forward, and let somebody else then can come behind and take care of all the rest. So that's been my strategy, and it's working well, but it's a slow process. I admit I am a pack rat. I'm a hoarder. I keep way too many things. And I know already, based on my storage unit, which I have not been to for a month because other people have been taking things to my storage unit, but I did see a picture of it the other day, and there's plenty of room still. So I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. I said I would downsize 90%, and I'm definitely doing between 80 and 90%. And therein is another lesson. 80% of what we own, we don't even use. And I don't think I'm unique in that. I think that's probably across the board for a lot of people. I think that there's probably a percentage of the population, like maybe 5% of the population, that lives at a level, and I'm not talking about people that are in poverty. I'm talking about people that have the resources and the choices that they can make to do and have what they want. I would contend, and I'll go on record as saying, I bet 80% of the people in America that have the resources to, you know, to live a good life or a decent life or an average life don't use 80% of what they own. They don't use it on an even on a regular basis. I mean, I look at stuff in my pantry and I have equipment and machines and devices and cooking tools in there that I haven't used for probably a decade. So do they need to be taking up space in my house and in my life and in my mind and in my brain? Absolutely not. So those are the things that we let go of. So interviews today for the Women's Summit. Again, not going to beat myself up about what isn't done, just going to keep taking that next step and that next step and that next step. And that's how we get big projects done. And this started out as I was just going to do a little summit for my Facebook group, and it's turned into a big project, a big project. And not only just one summit, but it's looking at like 4 or 5 this year for sure. The first one is the 29th, 30th, and 31st of this month. So I need to hurry it up because I'm not even done with the interviews yet. I've got 2 today, a couple tomorrow. I'm trying to get a couple of people to do them over the weekend so I can really knock them out and get them done. So I can put all the assets together, their pictures, their audio, the video, the information, the pages that they filled out for a book, because I pre-asked questions to all of the women. Not everybody wants to be in the book. Not everybody wants to answer. But for all of those that did, it gives a more in-depth answer to the questions about how do you deal with customers? How do you handle customers? How have you done it in the past? How are you doing it in the future? Things like that. That we just don't get into all of it in the interview. In a 25-hour interview, you can't get into all that. You can't get into 25 years of someone's experience or even a year or 2 of their experience in an hour-long interview. So I want to make sure that we add incredible value in this Women's Summit in all the different ways and modalities that we can. And I also want to do a really cool thing on the end of the Women's Summit that I've had the idea for a few weeks now, but I have not spent time and energy actually thinking about and ferreting out the idea. I need to get it done so that I can make it as an add-on to the Women's Summit. It's my area of expertise. It's got all to do with challenges. I am all about challenges. I have been for a long time, probably for most of my life. I had a health challenge in my early 20s, a very significant set of health challenges that knocked me out of the game. I mean, not just the education school game and the work game, but almost knocked me out of my whole life game. And I had to set challenges for myself to overcome those health issues. And then I had to set challenges for myself all along the way. And I noticed that about a decade ago or so, I was actually creating challenges for myself. Challenges, and I put like not stressing here, because one thing that I did repeatedly, and I did several times, at least a handful of times, was a stress challenge. I would write a blog post every day about stress, and not about stress like but how to overcome stress, or strategies and tools and tips and things to not feel so stressed, because I was running a lot of businesses and I was super stressed and it wasn't working for me. So I was like, well, how can I proactively do things every single day, something every day to combat and to counteract the stresses that I'm currently living. And after stress challenges, I did some health challenges. I had another major health challenge in 2010 where I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died. Well, that was a health challenge. I had to spend about a year turning that around. It didn't take a whole year, but I spent a dedicated year turning that around. And then I had some vision challenges and eye surgery. And yeah, it was a long end of 2010, 2011. Those were a couple long years for me. They were also really huge growth years for me, where I could spend time and energy learning and studying and researching and trying to understand what the heck had happened and what I was doing wrong, because it was what I was doing wrong. I was allowing stress and things outside of me to absolutely, positively, negatively impact me and control my life. Instead of me controlling my life, which isn't like me now, but back then it was, I was letting my spouse, the economy, the environment, other business owners, vendors, my kids, anybody I came in contact with, my family and friends, control the way I thought and felt about everything, the choices I made, the things I did, the things I didn't do. Yeah, it was crazy time. So I actually did some health challenges and some exercise challenges to improve my health because I never exercised. I never took care of myself. I've done a lot of other challenges since then. I mean, dozens and dozens of them. So I would imagine that on the end of the Women's Summit, you will see a challenge, probably a 30-day customer challenge is what I'm thinking as I talk about it now. I'm kind of cementing the idea, but a 30-day customer challenge, whatever. And that's all I'm going to say about it right now, because I've got a couple, I want to have a couple different levels to it, depending on where you are in your business. If you're just starting out, it's probably a customer attraction, customer getting challenge. If you're establishing your business and you've got existing customers, it's probably how do I improve my relationships with my existing customers? How do I improve their experience challenge? And then if you're an advanced business owner, it's probably going to be a lifelong value of a customer challenge. How do we get testimonies and referrals and increase the service that we provide to our customers, or how do we move them up what I like to call our value ladder? How do we provide them with more products and services that meet their advanced needs even better? So it's kind of a value ladder for women business owners within the challenge framework of the summit. So we'll see. I don't know if it'll be a 3-tier one. I'm not sure I've got that much energy to do all 3, but we'll have some sort of a customer related challenge for sure, because I love challenges. And even if nobody else wants to do one, I will do one, because I am always looking for ways to get better at serving and creating value for my customers and move them up my value ladder and move them up in terms of what products and services I can offer for them. So that's what I'm working on. And it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Just moving alone is a lot for most of us, especially when you've been somewhere over 25 years and you've filled an entire house that's way too big for you with material goods and stuff. I used to call it SHIT, but now I just say stuff. And I don't look at it as I have to get rid of things. I look at it now, I've gotten blessings and I'm thanking this item because I have gotten some use out of it. The things I've used, there's stuff that I've never even used that I'm giving to charity because I've never even used it. Who will admit right now that they have clothes in their closet or their drawers that they've never worn? Who will admit that they have presents and gifts and cards and trinkets and things to give as gifts that they've never given away? Like a whole stockpile of those kinds of things. Who will admit that they're an office supply hoarder? Oh, I'm an office supply hoarder. I don't know why, but I love office supplies. I love everything business and everything office. Notebooks. I probably have more notebooks than most people on the planet because I'm always writing, I'm always journaling. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 notebooks around me, my physical being, right this minute. So what does that tell you? I guess if life's worth living, life's worth capturing. Now, I don't think anyone will ever go through and read my notebooks because my daughter informed me at the bank yesterday that she can't read my writing. So she was taking notes on her phone as we were talking to a banker setting up a business account for her and her new business. I was helping her with that process. But that's it. I've rambled enough. Go out, have a day that makes your heart happy, that makes you smile. Do something. Just do at least one thing that is entirely selfishly just for you. And maybe that's just 5 minutes of meditation. Maybe that's 5 minutes in the bathroom. It's only 5 minutes today that you get any peace and quiet to breathe and just center and focus on being you and being happy and being in the present moment. All right. I will, of course, catch you tomorrow. Be your fabulous self today. Bye.